Today we're going to focus on continuing our thoughts on privileges, and we're going to talk about the recovery of property, and then in another episode we'll go over necessity, and that'll be our conclusion of privileges. So recovery of property, it's pretty straightforward. So for example, say you go into a store and you purchase something by fraud. You sign a check and you lied about your credit, and the people discover it pretty much immediately. And so a person has a right to self-help, or rather they have the privilege of recovery by self-help, meaning that you're taking action yourself, not going through authority or whatever. But you only have that under two elements. The first element is that the pursuit must be fresh. The second element is that the force is not unreasonable and that it does not breach the public peace. So pursuit being fresh, what's that mean? Well, it means pretty much immediate. So you discover and you immediately go out and you find them like within 10 minutes kind of deal. But if it's been a day, well, then they've properly converted your merchandise and you need to go and to the courts to make a recovery for that item. The second case that we talked about was Onkowski versus Arlen's department store. And what happened here is that the plaintiff in this situation was shopping. They left the store and the security officer stopped her, saying that somebody accused her of putting slipping jewelry in her purse. He turned her around. She came to him. She proved that she had not stolen the items, and then the security officer let her go on her way. She suffered a lot of intentional infliction of emotional distress from this situation, and so she sued. Well, we learn from this is that there's a shopkeeper's privilege. So a shopkeeper can detain an individual if they have reasonable belief that the detention is necessary to recover the acclaimed property. And the reason why the shopkeepers have this privilege is to not put them in a dilemma where they either lose the merchandise or they're accused of a tort. So either way, they're in a lose-lose situation. And a big purpose of it is to prevent shoplifting. So, in other words, if there's a reasonable belief that the shopkeeper believes that you concealed merchandise for the intent to take it, they can pull you aside and they can detain you. And if you want a police officer to be the one to search you, you can have a police officer be the one to search you, but you have to wait there until the police officer arrives and all that kind of stuff. So, big takeaway, they can detain you. This extends out to the parking lot. It's not just to the premises of the building. And second, it extends even to the interior of the building. So you can't just shove something in your pocket and they notice it and they come to you and you're like, oh, I was going to pay for that. You can't make that argument because shopkeepers' privilege, if they have a reasonable belief and your concealing of the merchandise provides a reasonable belief that you are trying to take the material and conceal the material, then they are not held liable for false arrest because of this privilege of recovering their property. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Law Schoolers. Before I let you go, there are 4 things I want to say. The first thing is if you enjoyed these episodes and if you enjoyed the website, I would invite you to go and join Law Schoolers Pro. And you can do that by going to lawschoolers.com/join. It's a way for you to support us, but there's also a lot of features there that I think you will enjoy. Second thing is that nearly all of our episodes are unedited. The only ones that aren't are pre-law materials, and the reason for that is so you can actually see the legal material in its raw form as I'm learning it as well. The third thing is that the information contained in these episodes are specifically only for educational purposes. They're not to be used as legal advice, and with that, the fourth thing is if it is used as legal advice, we are not liable. That is, law scholars is not liable for any legal outcomes. Thank you again for enjoying the show. Have a good one.